I posted the back part of this video and forgot to say that you got to soak the beans for at least 12 hours in a bowl of water. Just rinse them off, clean them out, make sure you pick out any split beans and any, rocks or anything like that. The ones I bought didn't have anything in them. They were clean, but soak them for 12 hours before you start the process of putting them in their growing chamber. Okay. I grew some bean sprouts. I'm going to show you the containers I did and how much I got. Here's the beans right here. I just bought them in bulk bag at our local store, Winco. You can buy them bagged or in bulk. And I just bought this. What I used for this grow right here, this amount, was just a plastic container with holes drilled in the top. I put a 1/4 cup in there of the seeds. I rinsed them out like 3 or 4 times, dumped the water out, rinsed it out really good. And then I popped some holes in this lid. And what I'd do is I'd take the lid off twice a day, fill it with water, shake it around a couple times, and then dump it out, shake it out, dump the water out. And then I'd let it sit with a couple minutes with one of the big holes draining so it would drain. And after about 4 days, it was packed completely full. This is what I ended up with. This is, what is that? This is an 8-cup bowl. And so I ended up with like 4 cups. Could have let them grow a little bit longer, but actually they grew pretty good. That's about 4 cups out of a 1/4 cup. Pretty good. And that is just using plastic container. Just rinse it a couple times a day. And that way the mold and stuff like that won't grow in it or nothing. You're just rinsing everything out. Just rinse it out. I would take the lid off, fill it with water, shake it around a little bit, dump it out, shake it around, add a little more. And then towards the end, at the last drain, I'd put the lid back on and then turn it upside down, drain it out, and boom, they just grew. This grow right here, that's probably about 6 cups or so. And that was in my Easy Sprout. The easiest sprouter ever. It's kind of a neat little device. It comes with different lids. Let's get this popped off. Okay, it's got an insert. This is for big seeds. Okay. It also has this little piece right here if you're doing like alfalfa or whatever, and it just drops down into there to make sure the little seeds won't fall through the drain holes. And what you do is you rinse your seeds off in a bowl or whatever, and then you put them in here, and you just add water a couple times a day. I'd fill it to the top, let it sit for a minute or two, and then I could raise this out, and all the water would drain out. And then it's got, right here, it's got little lips where you can turn it sideways where it holds it up like that. So it's farther from the bottom. Spin it, it falls down in there. It's still a ways from the bottom, but after I'd let it drain for a minute, I would just put the lid back on. While it's growing, I'd put this one on. And then once it gets to the top and actually starts mounding over, you got this one right here, which will set up on top like that, and it lets it get oxygen with the holes and lets them grow up above the lid. And of course it's got a solid lid that comes with it, so you can take this container and store it in the fridge in that same container. You can take out that inside, dump your sprouts in there and store it in the fridge. Once you put them in the fridge, they'll stop growing. But this is about 3 days right here. That's pretty darn good. And of course, everybody knows how good sprouts are for you. And that is using the Easy Sprouter. And I used probably about 3/8 of a cup of beans. And like I said, it was heaping up like this on the 3rd day. Crazy. Okay, and this is the method with the strainer. Let's see how many we got in here. I used probably about a 3/8 of a cup or so, and I got a ton in there too. What you do with the strainer is you line the bottom after you rinse your seeds out in a bowl and, rinse them 3 or 4 times or in your colander, however. And you want to rinse them really well. And then what you do is you line a piece of paper towel. Let me show you. Just regular paper towel on the bottom. You lay your seeds in there and just kind of spread them out a little bit. And then you put paper towel over the top of it and you sprinkle it with water. And keep the paper towels so they're wet. And then what I do is I put it inside of another bowl like this, so as it drips off of the sprouts, because you don't want to keep them soaking in water because they're not going to grow. It'll kill them. And it'll make them mold. So if you let them sit where they're getting oxygen, and then they'll drain like that, a little bit of as it drains, and you rinse them a couple times a day. Same thing. You can, what I would do is take the top paper towel off and rinse them really good and tilt it to the side, because the bottom paper towel lets it drain really slow, and so you just tilt it to the side and let it go out the holes, because you don't go all the way up with the paper towel, just like right below it. So then you can tilt it and dump it out, run more water, tilt it, and then when you're done that a couple times, then you can go ahead and set it in a bowl, put your new paper towel on top of it, sprinkle it, get it wet. And then what I would do is put a little plate on top of that to add some pressure. You just set a plate down there, and as it grows, it'll hit the bottom of that plate. And I would set a cup on top of that, because if you put some pressure, it actually gives you a little bit fatter bean sprouts. So I would set a cup on top of that, and what I would do after I got done rinsing it, I would put it in you can just cover it with towels or whatever, but what I would do, I had this grocery bag that I got it's a Walmart, doesn't matter which bag you use or whatever. I would stick it inside there, to get it into darkness, and then I would put a heavy towel over the top of it, so it'd be dark. And the bean sprouts grow, and same with these. When I had this growing, and in this, I would set it on my cupboard after I'd rinse it all out and everything, and then I'd put 2 heavy dark towels over the top of it to keep the bean sprouts in dark. That way they're not growing the green tops. You just keep that grows the roots, because you start getting a lot of light to them, and then they'll start like this, getting to the point where they'll start splitting off leaves. I mean, this is fine right here. This is perfect. But you start growing the plant, and then you start taking away the nutrition. Delicious, and they're so sweet. And these are mung beans. And like I said, this is another 3/8. And this was probably 4 days worth of growth right here. I'd say you give it at least 4 days. And I mean, you still got a little bit of the green. Some of the greens will start coming off the seed coating. But it's all edible. And look at that. Just delicious. Just so healthy for you. Like I said, I'd rinse them off and cover them with a towel and make sure they're in dark. And then I rinse them twice a day. And there you go. It's that simple to raise yourself some healthy bean sprouts. And you can buy an easy sprouter. They're like $20 off of Amazon or off the website. Or you can use a plastic container, a plastic jar, one person I seen, they used a 2-liter water bottle, and they cut the top off just where it starts to bevel out, and after they put their seeds in there, they turned it upside down, the top, and they grew them inside like that. You can use any type of container like this, so you can make sure you pop holes in it so you can get oxygen in there and you can drain it. And like I said, after I would do that, I'd let it sit for like this with the holes down for about 5 minutes or so, and then I would go ahead and put them underneath the towels. No mold, no nothing, and they are delicious. The trick is you got to make sure you rinse them a couple times a day. That is the trick to keep them healthy and growing. Don't want them to dry out, and it keeps any bad things like mold or anything from growing in it, because you're actually rinsing any spores that try to grow, you rinse those right out. All right. And then you got perfectly healthy bean sprouts. Let's worry about our health, people. In this crazy world and all the additives they put in our foods. It's like some of the videos I'm posting right now about with some of the evidence of all the poisons they're putting on our food crops. And yes, I live in a rural community. Well, around me they have lots and lots of farmland and ranches and everything, and you see what's going on. But yeah, if you want to check out my other videos, you'll see, and I got one I need to get posted this afternoon or tomorrow, about all the poisons they're putting on our foods. And the government, is approving it. And there's other states and areas where there's lawsuits because it's polluted the farm fields. And it's gotten so bad that it's killing off livestock. So grow your own food, guys. Stay healthy, because this is pure healthy. It's good stuff for you. Just go to the store, buy your bulk seeds or bag seeds or whatever. I have alfalfa sprouts that I grow in here, and it works so good for alfalfa sprouts. But I think bean sprouts are a little sweeter. And you can fry them up in a teriyaki sauce or eat them raw. Grab a handful and stuff on a sandwich. They're just delicious, raw or even cooked. All right, thanks for watching. Let's be healthy. Got to raise what you can. Even if you live in, the big city, you can grow these yourself, and it's that simple. You go to the store and you buy that many, it's going to cost you a few dollars. That's a few cents worth of seed. And if you tried to buy that, it would cost you $10. So save yourself some money, and you know what you put on these. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.